Yeah. So, do we have, okay, we have Susan on the call. Welcome, Susan. This is optional not to turn on camera if you don't want. It's just to keep the engagement a little bit lively for the rest of us. So yeah, so we'll just take, since Susan is here in the interest of our time, we will take Susan's session. So Susan, I'm not sure how much time you have for us, but we'll be expecting maybe 30, 45 minutes. If you want 1 hour, you have it. If you want more than 1 hour, you can have it. But we'll try as much as possible to make it more interactive, allow room for questions to jump in, brief questions, that is. Of course, everyone will raise their hand before they can ask a question. So you tell us how much, in terms of time we have to spend with you, so that we can be able to also plan the other aspect of today's session once you're done. So over to you, Susan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Just a little introduction. My name is Susan Jehia, and I lead innovation here at Hello Tractor. Really happy to join this call and engage with you and get and share information on how we leverage our climate smart agricultural strategy. I will not keep you guys because I think it's pretty straightforward. We will really deal with it on a very high level, just to give, to just articulate our strategy, some of the problems we have seen, especially in Nigeria, with you, and then we will leave it for question and answer. So I don't think it will be longer than 25 to 30 minutes. So without further ado, so actually the deck I'm using, I needed to have simplified it further, but haven't been able to. So please bear with me and really focus your attention to my voice. I will begin here. So, and before I really delve into this, Hello Tractor, for those who don't know, Hello Tractor, we are an agricultural technology company. We connect smallholder farmers across emerging markets with tractor owners who have excess capacity. It's more like Uber for tractors, but in our case, much more than Uber for tractors, because not only are we working with the tractor owner and the farmer, but we're trying as much as possible to really engage all the stakeholders within this mechanization ecosystem. You have operators, you have technicians, community-based booking agents so far. So our business starts with a telematics device, a GPS telematics device. It's installed on every tractor, and it means that tractor owners get visibility on all the aspects of their fleet, like from the location of the tractor to work that has been done, to maintenance needs, which operator is handling the tractors, and even stuff like weather. So that's part of our product, and that's how Hello Tractor also makes money, because we sell these devices to our tractor owners. And then this is connected to a booking agent application, and this is managed by community-based agents who book tractor services on behalf of farmers for two reasons. One, because most of the smallholder farmers do not own smartphones. So they do that on their behalf. And then number two, and this is mission critical, is because they aggregate this demand so that transactions can happen at economies of scale. So those are our primary products as Hello Tractor. We have then introduced our pay-as-you-go tractor financing product, and this really tries to reward these community-based booking agents that I mentioned, because our observation was that they do have lots of networks with farmers that they themselves can become tractor owners. So they bring this demand. There's a threshold of demand that helps them to qualify for a tractor. So the reason we introduced the pay-as-you-go tractor financing program was because one of our challenges is lack of supply of tractors. So we have way more demand than we have the supply of tractors. So this is our effort to try and bring more assets into the market. And then our last product has to do with a hub, what we call hub, HUB, hubs, mechanization hubs. And this is, it's a last mile infrastructure that we have set up so as to bring proximity to our farmers. And we realize that farmers need much more than mechanization. So this is our effort to bring wraparound services to our farmers, because they need lots of support in the entire production cycle, because they start with land preparation, they have to do planting, and for that they need proper seed and fertilizer. Then they go to cultivation, management, they go to harvesting and post-harvesting. And of course, Hello Tractor doesn't have business to operate in all these activities, but we work with partners through our hub strategy. Sorry to have to take you through that long way, but I really wanted to like really give a preliminary introduction of Hello Tractor so that you understand where we're coming from, so that this climate strategy then fits into that bigger mission. Any question on Hello Tractor overview before I delve into the climate smart practices? Okay, thank you. So as I said, our main mission is to bring tractors to farming, right? So in like we happen to have a labor constrained environment in Nigeria, and therefore people really result into manual labor. So Hello Tractor's mission is to try as much as possible to boost the rate of mechanization in the region. However, we have observed that, and it is known that use of disc plows, a disc plow is a type of implement that can be attached to a tractor. But if you do use a disc plow, for example, for so long, what it does is it overturns the soil and it affects the structure of the soil. And over time, that soil can lose fertility. So we have tried to break down our climate smart practices, and that is the slide you're looking at, and we're following the language of the greenhouse protocol, where they have different scopes for different emissions. So, and actually I will go to this slide before I go to the previous slide. I think this might make it easier for you to understand. As I said, we work in a double-sided market. We have farmers on one side and tractor owners on the other side. When you look at farmer side intervention, there are things like land management. So how do they manage their land in a way that helps to control the carbon footprint that they get to emit? And one of the ways we do this is by no-till or minimum till practices to minimize the release of carbon dioxide, and it prevents soil disruption and also reduces the usage of fuel. So in practice, this looks at using different implements like reapers, for example, as opposed to a 3-disc plow, because as I said, the 3-disc plows will overturn the soil, it will release the carbon into the air, and it will also disrupt the structure of the soil. If you understand soil, you know that there are microbes within the soil that develop over time. So that overturning of soil then breaks the integrity of that soil. And so we try as much as possible to promote equipment like tillers to ensure that there is carbon sequestration. So that is number one way of how we do it on a farmer side perspective. Number two has to do with crop rotation. And here, crop rotation is pretty much just really exchanging, rotating crops in terms of how you plant them. So making sure that if you do maize, for example, for this season, that the next season you're doing something else. And because when you do crop rotation, it makes sure that you're boosting the soil with necessary nutrients that help the soil, that help in the fertility of the soil. And so this is more of a training agenda that we have, making sure that We give our farmers relevant information, meaningful information for them to be able to exercise this. And then the last one being soil coverage. And it's more on, and this happens after harvest. So how do you retain the surface crop and to protect the soil from runoff, but also in terms of sequestration of carbon dioxide, because bare soil means that carbon is being released to the air, moisture is being lost, and the soil is drying. So the soil coverage is part of our intervention. If you look at our tractor side interventions, there we have biofuel. Biofuel is use of, this is more like replacing traditional diesel. Instead of using that, then you manufacture your fuel from grown feedstocks. So, and this is really interesting. This is something we just started. And so we have been doing lots of research and feasibility studies to see the feasibility of adopting biofuel as opposed to traditional diesel. It definitely promises much, like accessibility and even affordability, but mostly really just reducing the carbon footprint of our tractors. Then our second intervention on the tractor side is agroforestry for feedstock. And so here is where we encourage our farmers to produce the feedstock that is needed. For example, we're looking at indigenous trees like croton, because if they're hard pressed, then they release the kind of biofuel we need, or looking at other inedible feedstock like castor, for example. And then our last intervention on the tractor side is electrification of our fleet. And so here we have a partnership with an organization that manufactures electric tractors. And so, I mean, this is also something, it's part of our innovation, and we're incubating this project to see the performance of an electric tractor as opposed to your typical traditional tractor that has internal combustion engines. So this is really our strategy, and we have really tried to get a head start at some of these activities. The slide before was mainly now just mapping out all that I have mentioned into the different greenhouse protocol scopes. Like when you talk about direct emissions, how do we mitigate the emissions directly that come from sources owned or controlled by Hello Tractor? And in that segment, then our biofuel strategy and our electrification of fleet, they fall squarely on scope 1. And when you look at scope 3, and I think there are 5 scopes in total, but this is where Hello Tractor falls on. So when you look at scope 3, that talks about indirect emissions. So how do we mitigate indirect emissions that occur throughout Hello Tractor's value chain? And there we are big on farmer training, because we train these farmers on climate smart practices and agroforestry. So they may not really, these practices may not directly contribute to reduction of the emissions, but there's an indirect link and correlation to the final thing that they will do, and therefore affecting, and by affecting, meaning reducing the emissions cost. And then we avoid some of these emissions by land management and conservation agriculture. Is there any question here before I proceed?
Yes, Gabriel here, Rural Farmers Hub. I just want to not make, because most of the candidates on this call may not be able to appreciate a really, really high level summary. So if we could maybe, if I can jump in, perhaps we should maybe talk more about equipment, because one of the opening things you mentioned was the no-till or reduced till. Can you tell us about how that is in practice, and if there are maybe some videos or maybe some tools or pictures that can make it more relatable with our guys? That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's okay. Thank you for pointing that out. I'll try to be more detailed. Yeah, we may not have videos right now, but we're happy to share afterwards. But like the no-till, minimum till looks at use of different implements. An implement is the tool that is attached to a tractor for different kinds of service. If you're a farmer, you will need a certain kind of implement, for example, for land preparation, and that's a plow, mainly a plow. And if you're harvesting, for example, then you need a different kind of implement. So the no-till, minimum till, it looks at replacing the traditional plow that turns the soil over and over to something like a reaper. If you look at a reaper, and we'll send images later, but it digs holes on the soil in a straight line. Therefore, it makes sure that moisture is absorbed, and it does minimal effort in turning the soil all around. A disc plow, on the other hand, once it overturns the soil, it will leave a very hard pan so that even water is unable to penetrate inside the soil. So later on, we'll share different types of implements, and you can get to see this in action. Is that clear?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Specifically, or rather, just to in detail, we on a farmer perspective, we train our farmers on these climate smart practices. We have tried to do that via SMS. So we share these quick messages, and we're very production system focused. For example, if you're looking at maize, we know what you need to do when planting maize in terms of crop. Sorry, excuse me. In terms of crop rotation, we let them know what kinds of crops would be relevant for you to practice crop rotation on, or soil cover. So we train farmers on SMS, but we also have a call center department that has a heavy engagement with our farmers, and therefore is able to provide this information. We also really leverage on sources like leveraging on things like AI to really customize our content, and especially based on different regions, because different regions have different demands, and therefore really trying to customize our information to farmers on practices that they can perform, and especially in mechanization, but also just in their entire farmer production cycle. And then the second one is training of booking agents. Booking agents, as I mentioned, are very mission critical to us, because farmers, we have come to observe that farming really relies on trust. Farmers like to have trust on the people that give them advice, people they sell to, people who buy from them. So trust is a critical factor in our business. And so when you have these community-based agents, you have more like social capital, because you're able to achieve multiplier effect in terms of having your knowledge maximized. The ratio of one booking agent to farmer in Nigeria is like 1 to 400, right? So if you train one booking agent very well, and then it's like you're training as many farmers as possible, because when they go to these farmers to book tractor service, also this message of, you should book a reaper as opposed to a plow, you should do soil cover, you should rotate your crops, even things like agroforestry, like if we want farmers to now start growing their feedstock, this communication is relayed by our booking agents. So we are very keen on training them. And then I mentioned before that we have a pay-as-you-go product. This looks at financing people who otherwise would not afford a tractor and wouldn't even get that loan from a bank, because our prerequisite to this tractor would be demand that has been accumulated over time. We have a threshold, and if they reach that, then they qualify for demand. So we try to codify some impact elements like conservation agriculture. So if you have a booking agent who has booked for reaping, for example, as opposed to plowing, then they get a premium score. So we place that as an incentive for them to also be really keen on booking for this kind of mechanization that conserves the soil, because if they do that, then they qualify for a tractor. And as a booking agent, owning a tractor is really quite a big deal. some of them have moved from just owning a smartphone that costs like I don't know how much, like $2,000 to like a $40,000 equipment. So that's like a really big deal for them. And then the fourth one is implement banks to remove the burden of ownership. And here I mentioned about our hub strategy. These are like really physical centers that we have planted in areas that have high agricultural intensity. So within those hubs, we also stock as many implements as possible, especially because people cannot afford buying some of these implements. Reapers, for example, are not so much available in Nigeria. So through our hubs, we make them available and people can rent them out just as this piece that can be attached to a tractor. So that's cheaper to do business that way, as opposed to causing them to buy a whole implement. So this, I hope this gives a bit of detail to our practical, how we practically make sure that this strategy reaches our farmers. Is there any question here? Okay. So I think that's it. The rest is really to breaking down all these elements, which I have already done. But that's really our climate strategy in Hello Tractor. And I mean, it's a journey. This cannot be done in a night. We're not trying to boil the ocean here. And it's a journey. It starts with sensitization and also as a company really being keen on utilization and adoption of these services. And it's hard because it requires behavior change. But over time, farmers are seeing the results of this. One other thing we like to do is utilization of demo farms. So where you practice these activities on a demo farm, and then farmers later on can compare the productivity of that farm compared to maybe what they produce if they have been using plowing and not rotating soil, stuff like that. So yeah, so it's something we're quite passionate about, and we have begun. And yeah, we're hoping in a few years, majority of our farmers will have adopted to these practices. Thank you.
So thank you, Susan. One question though. So could you maybe, for the sake of the Nigerian audience here, how does one get started to own a tractor on the Hello Tractor model? I think it's called Pay As You Go. So if, let's say, anyone here is interested to own a tractor and provide services to farmers in their community, how do they get started from the start to the finish?
I think Ransom is on the call. Maybe
okay.
Ransom can give the answer.
Yeah. Okay. So the criteria we used previously to give our tractors to beneficiaries is mostly from those that actually have access to farmers and have aggregated a minimum of 500 hectares, and also have a down payment of 5% to pay for the value of the tractor as at when the tractor is being given out. So, but a lot have changed after that, because we have noticed a lot of the people that we give these tractors to, those farms that they booked, they were not able to service those farms. And the way they book those farms is that you see one tractor owner will book like 100 hectares to be serviced in one day, which is practically impossible, because a tractor can only maybe harrow a maximum of 7 to 8 hectares in a day. At the end of the day, you booked like 100 for a particular day. So at the end of the day, before the run service, because it was to service around 500 hectares, you notice that people were not able to meet up to the covenant target that they sign up to. So we are working on fixing all these key areas to see who is best fitted to actually be a beneficiary of these structural pay-as-you-go services. So, and one of the things is we have to look at your background in engagement with farmers. for how long have you been working with farmers? For how long have you been helping out in getting mechanization services to farmers? And how broad is your network, and all of that? So these are some of the factors we look into currently before we give out tractors. And again, we send out links. There are certain questions that we ask. So once you meet up those criteria, you'll be shortlisted at least to be eligible to be one of the beneficiaries. Then from there, some interviews can be done to check whether you're actually fit to stick to the covenant. Then after that, the tractor will be assigned to you. So basically, that's it for Nigeria. Questions?
Does anyone have another question? Martha, please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. So, I've heard what you said now, sir, regarding the criteria for giving out these tractors or when it's time. So basically, for someone who is just starting out, and then someone with the intention, going through training and everything, and wants to really venture into this sector as well, and would want to also apply, will there be any chance? Because I heard you mention, or I heard you said something like you would look at the engagement, the person's engagement with farmers and all that. So is that does that mean that someone who is really looking into venturing into this doesn't stand a chance? So I'll just like you to just clarify that, please.
Yes. Okay. So I think from experience, people that actually have a long engagement period with farmers are the ones that are actually doing better with the tractors that we have, and we give as pay as you go. So if you want to be a beneficiary,
Ransom, we cannot hear you anymore. I think he's having some network challenge. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, please.
Ransom, we lost you. Can you say that again?
Okay. Yeah. So like I mentioned, some of our top performing people are actually those that have a lot of experiences with farmers, and the easiest way for you to become part of this army is more or less around you being a booking agent by aggregating demand. So from there, we know about your access now to farmers, and also we know that you are actually will I use the word trustworthy now, because a lot of the times we have booking agent that will book demand and will send tractors to that location, and at the end of the day, either the farmer is not ready or the farm is serviced, or some one or two challenges will be faced. So, but if you work as a booking agent, you aggregate demand, you're able to work with us, and you get a lot of farmer service. From there, you're promoted to a champion agent. From a champion agent, you'll be assigned a couple of booking agents under you. They will help you aggregate those demands, while you also help with the whole land prep process. So from there, you can now be eligible to become a tractor owner. So because there are some people, maybe let me mention this, there are some people that were not able to meet up to the demand that they sign up to, that they're going to service like 400, 500 hectares, and they're having challenges in servicing 200 hectares. Some were even servicing less than 100 within a year. So what we did was to revoke those contracts and give those tractors to champion agents that were able to bring in demand from farmers, and we're able to service those demands. So the beauty of this is not that at the end of the day you're just going to get a tractor, but also you get paid 5% commission for every farm you are able to build, you're able to book properly, and a tractor is able to service that farm. So you get 5% commission after that farm is serviced, and with time, after your work is, let's say you're able to service like 500 to 1,000 hectares.
I think we lost Ransom again. Just hold on while we get him back.
Yeah, sorry, I'm using my phone and the calls are coming in. So
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, that's about it. Is there any more? Have I answered your question? Does it matter that I ask that question? Okay, thanks. Any more question?
I think you should take the last explanation. I think we lost you at some point. There was no audio, so we needed you to take it over again, please. Thank you.
Which last part? What did you hear last? Let me understand where I should talk more on.
That was the last paragraph, I think. When you were talking and the call came in, at that point we couldn't hear you completely.
Okay, about the commission that the champion booking agent gets, then being assigned, being promoted to a champion agent. Then you have from 5 to 15 booking agent under you, depending on your capacity to guide them and also help them with whatever challenge they have. So after being promoted from a booking agent to champion agent, you'll be placed under a salary, and that salary will help you to maybe reach to call those agents under you and to reach out to them to help them if they have challenge with engaging with a farmer, or if they have challenge with the app and all of that. So you help them in resolving all these issues. And at the end of the day, as they are booking, all those bookings are coming under you. So it will build your portfolio with Hello Tractor, showing that you're able to engage with a lot of farmers. So that will give you edge over anyone that is applying for pay as you go. Because what that does is, as we give you a tractor, we know for a fact that you have people that are going to service. And the most important part for us is to not just get more farmers to service, but to keep servicing the customers we already have. Maintaining a customer is quite easier than getting a new one. So if you're able to service a farmer effectively, do a good job for him, chances are he will call you back next year, and he will also refer some people to you. So that is it. So I think the first step is to register to become a booking agent. You'll be trained, from there you'll be promoted, and from there you'll be eligible to own a tractor.
Nansha, please go ahead.
Yes.
David will go next.
I need a little clarification when you talked about entitled for salary. That is when you've been able to get to a particular point and you are entitled for salary. How long will the salary run? Is it like when you are entitled, is it just within a specific period of time, within a calendar, within a year? Or it is for the whole year, even after the need for tractors hiring services have elapsed? I need a little clarification on that.
So yeah, so that is a continuous process. It's not tied to rain-fed season or during land prep season. So it's all through the year. So what you do is you'll be given the responsibility to coach a number of people, and there's a target for you every month for you to hit. So for example, you can a target of 500 hectares can be given to you. So it's not just you that will aggregate all this demand, but including those booking agents that are under you. So all the farms you are booking and sending, our customer success team from the office will call these farmers individually to verify these bookings that are being sent or that are being booked. So they'll confirm if they're actual farmers, if that's the size of the land that they have, if that's what they want to plant, because our app captures all this information, like the size of the farm, the name of the farmer, the phone number of the farmer, what the farmer wants to plant, when the farmer wants the service to be done, and all of that. So our customer success will call and verify. So if that farmer is valid, all those figures of hectares that you booked will be recorded under you. So once you reach that threshold or that target that they provide for you for a month, then that will unlock your salary. But if you fail to reach that target, a proportional figure, for example, if your target is your salary is 100,000 and your target is 1,000 hectares per month, and you're only able to reach 500 hectares instead of the 1,000 hectares, 50,000 will be paid to you instead, which is half of your salary. But once you hit that target, your salary will be unlocked fully. And at the end of, I think quarterly or bi-quarterly, there's a token that is given to the best performing champion agent. So it's not like after you hit 1,000, you'll be like, well, I already hit my target, so I'm done for that month. I will not work at all. So as you hit more above your target, you are putting yourself ahead of all your peers, all other champion agents. So any consideration that I'm saying, maybe salary increase, better opportunities, or to be promoted to a regional champion agent, you'll be considered first. So it's like a whole year activity. So you'll be aggregate, you just meet the farmer. It can be January and maybe Rainfall will stand around April or May. You can talk to the farmer and be like, okay, we are trying to get things done on time because we know how hard it is to get tractors when the time for the activity nears or when it's active. So what we do is we try to aggregate this demand on time so that we'll prioritize those particular farmers. So that's why it's not like time bound to a particular month or particular period. It's a yearly service. Is that clear?
David,
Yes,
you had
it
your
is.
hand raised. Do you still have a question? David Sunday, you had a question. Please go ahead. Then Aniebet will go next. David, Aniebet, you can go ahead if you're ready.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, David, go ahead.
Sorry, he made mention of some little amount that you will pay before the tractor will release to you. I don't know how much is it. Can you specify the amount if maybe someone is interested?
Okay, you mean to?
Okay, I think you have to. Go ahead.
Is the
Ransom, go ahead.
okay? Yeah. So it's for the last badge that we did. It was 5% down payment. So, for example, if a tractor is 10 million naira, for example, or if it is, let's use reasonable amount, which is 30 million. Let's say 30 million is the price of a tractor. So 5% of 30 million is around 1,500, 1.5 million, sorry. So that's the down payment you are supposed to pay for that tractor. And there is no like collateral that you have to go and bring your grandfather's land, you have to bring somebody's kidney and all of that, like the way conventional banks normally ask. So it's just that down payment and some list of guarantors, and that's all.
Okay, Aniebet, do you want to take now the question?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir. Sorry, I lost out on how to register and become a booking agent due to my network issue. So I don't know if there can be a recap on this.
Okay, so we normally train booking agents based on locations that we are targeting. And also we have certain criteria on the kind of people we train. So we prefer to train youths, which is those that are within the age of 18 to 34. But yeah, if you still have access to farmers and within this, outside this age bracket, it's still fine. We train this category of people as well. So we, because of how expensive these things are, most of the time we pay for transportation of the trainees to that location and also provide feeding for them. So we make sure that those areas are potential areas where we know that there is a demand for tractor services. So we gather and send out some invites for those that want to become booking agents. Then we schedule a time and we train them. So if this is something you are interested in, you can reach out afterwards. And whenever we're having, because we also have remote or visual trainings. So it's not just physical trainings that we do. So we can equally register you under the digital training where we train you visually from wherever you are. Or if you're doing like a physical training, we can equally send you an invite and you come over and we train you as well. So we need to ignite interest, you need to show interest, and also you need to meet our criteria of becoming a booking agent, which is enthusiasm for the work, and also access to farmers, and you know, what again? You need to be tech savvy, and you also need to own a smartphone, because this is important because you aggregate demand using the Hello Tractor app. So you need to have all of this to become a Hello Tractor booking agent.
Right. Thank you very much, Ransom and Susan. I think we cannot exhaust everything on this call. So in the interest of time, if there are any interests, we can pass it along to you to for further engagement with Hello Tractor. So yeah, I don't know if Susan have a final thought. And also, I think you mentioned that there will be some videos and other materials that can be shared later. Is it going to be like a follow-up call, or is something you will share and we will distribute?
So we will look at what we have and see if we have actually a video of a Reaper versus a disc plow. If not, we will just really send links to make your understanding better, but that can be an email conversation.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ransom.
Yep. Thank you, Gabriel.
Okay. Happy to stay if you want. So let me invite Nanshao to take us through the update from the demo plus. There are a few things we can discuss before we run out of today's time. Nanshao, please, over to you. How is it going with the demo plots?
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Agriculture is it's always a time-bound activity, and we are delighted to be engaged in it. First of all, we have 3 demo plots, one in the FCT, one in Ebonyi State, managed by James Igwe. We have another one in Oyo State, Ibadan, managed by Olabode. The one in FCT is being managed by Omoshoke, and they are all doing wonderfully well. All the nursery beds have been prepared and planted. But I think there is a little challenge with the pepper, especially that for FCT. The germination count is poor, and why I say it's poor, because it's about 30% germination rate has been noticed. it will be better if we've noticed like between let's say 80 to 90%, 80 to 90%. So we've given further directives to replant as soon as possible, so that probably we can pull it up to maybe 60%. The poor germination that was experienced is as a result, I think it's a seed issue, because we also noticed that with the demo plot in Oyo State, and also with the demo plot in Ebonyi State. But a lot is being done to put that into control. And I think, yeah.
So I want to just give you some visuals to help with the description, because we're not able to, in the interest of time, do a live session. But these videos were sent at the timestamp, was sent from the FCT on the 5th, which is 2 days ago. So this is a pretty recent image. So when Nansha was talking about the nursery bed having very low germination, so let me take you a bit backward. This is what it looked like on the day of planting. So the bed, as we discussed, was made like this. You can see it's a raised bed, the soil is loose, and then the fertilizer was applied. You can see the white thing here in between the rows, right? And then the seeds was planted in between them. And then you can also see the mulching we talked about. So it was covered to provide the much needed darkness for accelerated emergence. But after, I think this is 2 weeks or maybe more, after I think 2 weeks, 10 days precisely, you cannot see it here clearly, but if we zoomed in a little bit here, you can see the pepper is just here and here and here and here. So when he said 30%, all these empty spaces, you can see these tiny ones, it's not growing as it should. All right, so that's what he meant by, you see, it's not growing as it should. Now, the farmer who is handling this as a Moshoke, who is on the call, I think she's on the call, she now, out of her own wisdom, she now did another nursery, but inside the pot, right? Inside the pot. And that one is doing better. You see, the germination population is better than what you have on the bed, right? And usually at this number of days, the height, we cannot see it from here now, but the height should be around 5 centimeter or so. So the one inside the pot are actually doing way better than the one on the nursery. So Nanshal is suggesting that maybe the problem is the seed. Is that correct, Nanshal?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, please go ahead. I just wanted to have the picture there for it to make sense. This is the FCT demo plot. Please go ahead.
Yes. So further directives have been passed to replant a portion of this raised nursery bed as soon as possible. So hopefully, it should be planted tomorrow. It should be planted tomorrow. But if the person managing the demo plot is able to lay her hands on the seed today, it will be planted today. But let's just keep our fingers crossed that it will be planted tomorrow. So most times seeds, when seeds are purchased and they are not tested at a particular period, you might experience something like this. From experience, you might see a seed that looks physically okay, You might plant it and you might experience poor germination. Probably it might be as a result of how the seed was stored. Uh, in order for us to not to waste any time, we have instructed that the seed should be purchased. The same variety of seed should be purchased from a different vendor, so that we can at least eradicate that assumption of uh, of of the fact that the seed might be very, very bad. So that is it for the FCT. And the same thing was noticed for Oyo State. For Oyo State, where the bed was also raised, and the germination count was also same like that of FCT. So we all narrowed everything on the seat, but I think by tomorrow, this bed will be replanted, and we can take it up from there.
So, Nashal, I'm just projecting the screen from the Ebonyi demo, the nursery bed. And as you can tell, the same problem is happening for this bed. I don't know if James is on the call. James, are you there?
For Oyo State?
No, this is for Ebonyi. If James is here, perhaps we can hear from him directly. But Nanshal, in the absence of James, do you confirm that we are having the same trouble with Ebonyi, the same germination problem? Okay, James, go ahead if you are here.
Yes.
Okay, I cannot hear James. So perhaps let me throw this open to all the students, both current and graduated agricultural students on the call. Sorry. So Nansha, hold on. So this is a general question for everybody, all the students and undergraduates on the call. Can you diagnose this problem? Although we have suggested seeds, which is a viable diagnosis, but does anyone have a contrarian idea of why this bed is not germinating viably? All right, because part of a demo plot is, or having a demonstration plot is for us. In fact, some of the things that are happening now, we are deliberate. All right, so we could try to create constraints in this demo plot to see if we can see why something can go wrong if something else is not done. So does anyone have a contrarian or a suggestion to add to this conversation? I want to hear it. Peace, Deborah, Paul, do you have a contrarian opinion? Onyemechi, please go ahead. I want it to be an open conversation and also a learning experience for you, because eventually some of you are going to be engaging with the farmers, and having to see this and have a lived experience will help you mitigate something down the line. Please go ahead, Onyemechi. Please go ahead too if you can speak now.
All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
To ascertain if is the seed viability that is the issue, I suggest that we can get a seedling tray and put the necessary medium, very good soil, and test the seed in say 20 spots on the seedling tray. So looking at giving the necessary water, access to sunlight, from there we can determine the percentage of seeds that germinated. So from there, we can either say it is about the seeds or not. So that's my thought.
Okay, Peace. Don't you
Hello, good
reckon
morning.
that from
Good morning.
Onyemechi, hold on,
Hello.
Onyemechi, please.
Okay.
Don't you reckon that from the plot that was done in the FCT plot, which was viable, right? Don't you think that that's also like a premise to assume or conclude that the seed is the problem? Because in the FCT plot, she had the nursery bed and also the pot as a kind of tray. It's not a tray anyways, but the one on the tray is doing well. Don't you think that's a proof, or you think we still need to do a tray to further verify this? Peace.
In that case, probably is another factor, because if we see the trays, you said it's doing well, right?
Yes, it's good germination. Let me bring up the slides again, just for that. But yes, I think for me, I would still say, because this pot, I don't know how the preparation was done, so I cannot tell. But I think I would have wanted more germination, rate than what we have. So this is the pot here. Where are you? This one. You see?
Yeah, I see it.
This is like 60. I'm not sure if some of the leaves are covering some of the margins, but this looks like maybe not 60. This looks like closer to 50 compared to the other one.
Yeah.
Do you think we should still do a trade? That's my question, really. You don't have to answer.
Well, I don't think there's really need for a tray, since this is proof enough, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take another comment. Onyemechi, go ahead now.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Hello.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Okay. First of all, before the planting to be done, we would have done a seed viability evaluation, maybe using tissue paper to wet those seedlings, so that we can ascertain the viability of those seedlings before planting. And also, there's a probability that the soil testing, since there was no soil testing done, they would have been also, it's also a factor that we should also look at. Maybe the soil that was used at that bed is not favorable to the germination of the pepper. So these are the possibly things I think we would have done. First of all, we would have done soil testing, then we would have done seed viability tests using either doing floating analysis. Would have helped us ascertain as to why the germination rate was low. That's what I'm looking at. The possibility of why we had low. Yes, sir.
Onyemechi, were you in the
Yes, sir.
session where we discussed interpretation of soil analysis? Were you in that session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The soil testing was done, and what I love about demo plots is that it allows us to do a lot of learning. So this is the result, part of the result from that soil testing. Now that you're looking at this, can you tell us, can you give us, like, can you extend what you just shared with us now? Like, what could be wrong now if this is true, which it is, by the way?
Okay.
So here we have the nitrogen is 0.8, the phosphorus is 10, the potassium is
6.5. 6.5.
From your experience, what is wrong with this soil that is probably causing the bed to have this very poor germination? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. You don't have to respond, by the way. Okay.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. I think we are having from the results we have. Everything is okay at the moment. The soil analysis is okay, but we would have looked at also we would have done a seed viability test to also ascertain before planting.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Emoshoke, Nanshal, Agnes, Labode, please just take note of this in your private group. Let's try this and let's also come back to the house on this. I saw a hand up, Aisha Badaru, but thank you, Emechi. Aisha, are you there? Sorry, Shuaibu, yeah. Aisha Shuaibu, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. You wanted to say something?
They have said it already.
No, I want to hear you say it in your own language. Maybe we'll learn something from it.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Aisha.
To me, the after soil testing, then to me, I think maybe there is climate this thing. I don't know how we put it safe.
Let's try. Anyway, you put it.
There
We'll
may be
try.
climate change is affecting the nursery.
Oh, climate change. That's a new one. So why did you say climate change?
Because we did soil analysis, then the seeds were tested, and the thing is not germinating well. Maybe it's the climate change that is affecting the crops.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Aisha. So I think we need to, and I think on Monday, please, if you're on this call, on Monday we need to revisit soil testing, because I'm hoping sometimes I just kind of withdraw from like giving too much so that we can have participation, right? Maybe it's not a good idea, but no worries. We need to revisit soil testing because none of the volunteers for the demo plot had mentioned, so how do we apply soil testing to this? All right, so this is something that might be a case, but again, the most viable pathway for us will be to do the viability tests and do other things that Nanshad has said. Nanshad, let me open the plot for Ebonyi, because I don't think I have any picture for Oyo to show to the house. Now it's very important to note that the success of a pepper farm and most vegetable farms begins at the nursery stage. So if you get it right at the nursery stage, which is about 40 days in total, then the rest of the growth will become successful. So this particular stage is very critical. And right now we're having lots of learning to do. Nansha, please go ahead. I'm sharing the video for,
just as I said before,
for a boy.
that we are having
Okay, I think Olabode is on the call, and that is the volunteer for Oyo Ibadan demo plot. It will be in order to hear from him, because we have an extensive discussion with him regarding the plot, because the hot pepper was growing well, the germination was good, but the long pepper, that's where the challenge is for the germination.
Okay.
Olabode, hello, Olabode, if you can hear me, kindly unmute. Olabode.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yes. Good morning, Olabo.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, in respect to the discussion we had before the meeting,
All right.
please can you expatiate further? Let us know what's the true situation of the demo plot.
Yeah.
Because
That's
you
it.
talked about the pepper variety
This.
is going well, and the other one has challenge. So please tell us more about it.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Here in Ibadan, the plants we have is two. These are two breeds. We have the hot pepper and the long pepper, in which the hot pepper is doing well, and they are planted the same day with the same criteria, the same procedure. But that of the long pepper is not doing well at all. It's not giving us the required response. So that is where we are having the issue on the long pepper. That is Bawa. So that is the state of things.
So
And the seeds are purchased in the same place. They were purchased in the same place.
what was the action point that was raised?
Sir?
The action point.
Yeah, it's just to get another seed from another place, from another shop, in order to see what's really happening, if it is the seed or the soil, so we can easily so by his grace, that will be done today, and we shall give us updates before Monday by his grace.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, sir.
The reason why I am a bit skeptic about going for a seed viability test. Actually, that is what we would have done before now, is because we have limited time, and I just want us to get the same variety of seed from a different vendor, or from a different company. Actually, the seeds that we have purchased were some of these seeds probably from uh, northwest, east-west seed. So let's get the same variety from different companies so that we can plan. Because if we should go for seed viability test, it might take another 1 week before these results can be out, before we plant. So it's like dragging us backward. We have limited time, and I think we just need to take it as it is, so that we can see where it leads us. So that is my observation for this. I stand to be corrected. Thank you.
It's okay. So I'm just sharing this picture for the sake of because Olabode shared this with us as well. And again, you can tell from this small raise of the mulch that the germination is not so great. The question is, what should a good nursery germination look like, right? That's the real question. I'm just gonna see if I have one. Otherwise, I can use Google to find a good nursery bed germination. You should have a lot of sprouts. The whole thing should be green. If it's not green completely, then it's for me it's not success. Success is not 90% or 80%. It should be like almost 99%, because your nursery is high seed density, high nutrient concentration, good water management, everything. Let me see if I can pull up something. Okay, I got something. I got something. One second. Okay, I got something. So I'm putting it up on the screen now. Stop sharing and share this. This is what a good germination should look like. I know this is probably 20 something days. But even as at 10 days or 2 weeks, yeah, I'm right. Look at the comment on the right hand side. It's 24 days. So if you look just below the canopies, you can tell, even though for me this is still not like great. All right. So please let's take note of this. One question. Why hasn't any of you visited any of the demo or requested to visit the demo plot? That's a little bit surprising since we said that is something that is open, and I think it's near everyone. So the Abuja FCT is near the Abuja folks. The Oyo is in Ibadan. Nobody has asked if they could visit this place and have some hands-on themselves. I'm curious to know why that's the case. Deborah, Martha, Lot, Obasi, Onifade. Why hasn't nobody visited the demo plot to see what's going on for themselves? It's a little strange, don't you think? Martha, please. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Not that I didn't plan on visiting the farm. It's just that at the moment, like I don't know. I didn't really plan on visiting it now at this stage. I was thinking maybe something that I'll do later or there, but I don't know if there's a particular time and all that.
Okay. I understand that there might be some constraints, but yeah, just asking alone was something that I found very surprising that nobody bothered. It's almost like maybe this is not so useful to the most of us. And part of what I would like to have is that feedback, which I've been posting in the group, and it looks like it's been good, but it needs to be demonstrated. Okay, let me try and wrap this up because I think we can see. Nansha, go ahead, please.
Yes, I was also thinking that for the FCT demo plot, though there was core germination recorded, let's try and find out the estimated germination count, because I was made to understand the space which we will transplant these seedlings is not large enough. It's not a large space, so as to prevent us from raising too many seedlings, and we don't have a space to transplant them. I don't know if this opinion is making any sense.
No, no,
Uh,
it makes sense. So
yeah,
if we
you
have
know,
a
think I
successful
think,
nursery, I think
yeah,
that's a successful demo. The real thing for, I would say, the revised objective of this pilot is to have a very highly successful nursery. Whether or not we transplant, because transplanting at that stage is easy in terms of the risks are lower and it shouldn't be a problem. That's the way I'll put it. So let's stick out because of time also. The project will end in this whole training will end around December. So we may not be the program will not run to cover the entire period for harvesting this thing. So the objective will be to make successful nursery bed, and then we'll worry about the transplanting later. We can easily get some place to transport it and transplant for sure. All right. Was someone's hand raised? No. Okay. So let's try to. Okay, Onyemechi, go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm from Nasarawa. So I would love if Omosheke can share her location so that I can also go and see things for myself too on first hand. I don't know
Okay.
the area where Omosheke is staying in Abuja, or it's proximate to Nasarawa is proximate to Abuja. so I can also see for myself too.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So Agnes is on this call. She's gonna note that she's organizing a trip for the Abuja folks. So yes, we can go there together with Agnes. So yes, she's noted that. Aniabet, Nanshao, please go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
Aniabet.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I want to ask the Ibadan demo farm, where is the location?
Olabode is here, so why not reach out to him and, also Nyemechi, why not reach out to Moshoke directly? I mean, there should be no walls between us. We should try and collaborate as cleanly as possible. So both of them are
Sorry,
here.
sir.
Chat them up.
Okay, I wouldn't know their contacts.
Just leave a message in the chat, but Agnes is here and she will make that connection for sure.
All right, sir.
Yes. So Agnes, take notes of this request and let's make that happen ASAP. So let me quickly go on to the next one. Nansha, do you have something to add before I go on to the next item on the list, and then we'll wrap this up?
Not yes, it's an observation. Please, for those that have their T-shirts, when you are visiting the demo plot, we will want you to share a picture of you in the demo plot wearing the T-shirt. And if you look at the T-shirt very well, there is YEA at the back. So we will be very, very interested in seeing the back, the YEA. The YEA, probably you can snap some pictures that shows your face, but the one we'll be very interested for our record purpose is the one that shows your back with the YEA written on it. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. I think it's a good idea. Remember, this is super voluntary. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it'd be good if you do that. Thank you. So lastly for today, we have barely 1 month left. So there will be some kind of assessment. As we said in the beginning, there will be, some of us will be absorbed into Rural Farmers Hub. Of course, you have the opportunity to work with the other companies as well that had come here to speak to us. Railway for InsurTech, Hello Tractor for if you want to own a tractor sometime down the line. Which other one? Amaiza Fertilizer, if you want to go into that. I think I'm missing one more. So, and all these things can only work if you build a relationship. If you remember the very first module of our training, we talked about becoming a positive influence. And over the course of the last few months, we have tried to get you to build that that connection with farmers. So far, I am not impressed. I know some of us put in some effort on the Facebook ads campaign and stuff, but it is still half-hearted. It's still like half full, half empty effort. So we're going to change things up a bit. All right. So we're going to ask everyone, if you are interested to pursue some kind of career providing this kind of services to other farmers or even for yourself, you will have one task to do. All right, I'm going to post it in the chat as well, but let me explain what we are going to do, what you are going to do. You are going to find a retail store, an agro dealer retail store near you. Okay, an agro retail store is a store where they sell fertilizers, seeds, and stuff like that. That's an agro retail store. You're going to find one near you, and I want you to spend at least 2 days in a week. First of all, you have to meet the owner of the shop. And now is a good time because most farmers are now kind of preparing for dry season farming. For those in the northern Nigeria, wheat is almost around the corner, it's super active now. But elsewhere around December, January, vegetable farming, cassava, all kinds of things are already kind of being planned. All right. So you are going to find one of those dealers, agro dealers, small, big size, as long as they are selling these products, you are going to befriend the person. Talk to a few people, one of them will agree, because that's how life works, that's how nature works. Some will say no, but one of them will agree to help you. So basically, you're asking him that you are participating in this program and you want to develop, let's say, your own consulting business that will be providing everything you have learned so far to farmers around you. This is your pitch. And you get them to allow you to work with them, basically a kind of internship with them for the days that you will be there. So let's say they accept to allow you to intern with them. Basically, you just go there, you sit down with him, you talk with him, you learn how the business works, all right? But your objective is when the farmers walk in to buy fertilizer, you would try to upsell some of what we have been sharing with you. So you might say, okay, maybe I can help you with consulting. Maybe I can help you with sharing ideas. So when you are doing your land preparation, you can talk to me. I read agriculture in school. I know this. I have this training. Maybe I can be helpful to you. You're not trying to sell him anything at that point, okay? Maybe I can be helpful for you. So when you do this and you get one or two farmers to trust you and say, this young man or this young woman, she's educated and she wants to help and she's not asking me for anything or he's not doing anything. Maybe I can work with him, and you exchange contact. You are now building relationship. When these guys, Susan and Ransom, when they were speaking, they said that you have to have shown a traction, that you have a connection with the farmers before they can think of giving you a tractor or even working with you. So beyond the tractor, if you are really interested to build a successful career in agriculture, you have to be a positive influence to the farmers. You have to build a relationship with the farmers. And there is no better way to do it than to hang around the people who are selling farm inputs. You know why? Because the farmers are already going there. So before season starts, they will go there to go and buy seeds, fertilizer. They even buy, things like door latch, building materials, because those guys sell the same thing. The people that sell fertilizer often sell like power banks, roofing sheets, nails. They sell them together because farmers, after buying seed, they will need to fix their house. They need to fix a door. They need to do this, blah, blah, blah. I see two hands up. Let me take that. Abubakar, and then I'll take Onyemechi before I continue. Abubakar, your hand is up. You want to say something?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
My own, I just entered the forum just now. I don't know that the gathering is kind of today. It's only today. Just now that I opened my phone, I saw you people are on the forum. So my own is question. I don't know what has been passed before, but now, as you are saying, if a person is from a village, how person would locate where the agro farmer are? Then how will that person will start? Then let's say if I got into that agro farmer, how will I, if they didn't agree with me, how will I do to get myself into another agro farmer? Or which of the let's say system will I apply to get into the agro farmer for them to agree with me to work together? That's my question.
Okay, Abubakar, good question. And I think you are joining us for the first time, from what I can hear. So I just put a link in the chat, and if you can send us a message on WhatsApp, I can send you the same link. I need you to find time to watch the previous sessions, because this is where you will learn about how to engage with people and get them to work with you. We already treated that aspect. Now we are trying to put it to practical. I cannot use this call to do that for you, but if you really want that, send a message on WhatsApp. I will send you this link, watch it. If it's still not clear, then you and I can have a private call and I can try to explain to you further. But the bottom line is that in order to do this, you have to do it. You don't have to think about it. You have to just go. It's like you want to get married and you like this girl. What are you going to tell her? You don't train for that. No, you don't train
I do.
to going to tell the woman that you want to marry. You just kind of find a way to get her to become your friend, and eventually you ask her out, and eventually you ask her to marry you. It's the same with these agro dealers. They are traders, actually, the people that sell something. And you are a young agronomist or a young person who is looking to build a professional portfolio providing agricultural services. You are asking him to help you. That's what you are doing. You are saying, hey, can I hang around your shop? Can I talk to you while I'm here? Can I talk to your customers? Can I show them some of the things, fancy things we've learned so far, like conservation farming? Because obviously, I think they did not do a good job today in the session, but we will try to, you know, to step that down for you guys. We'll try to bring them back again. Reason is not their fault completely. The reason why it didn't seem like very engaging from the tractor people was because it was a short notice. They just knew about this yesterday, so they were not, it was our fault. So we'll try to bring them in to provide more details. But the point is, things like conservation farming or the kind of hole you use to prepare the farm can affect the soil structure. And this is what they were trying to tell us today. Or the last time we talked about the soil analysis. How do you interpret soil analysis? How do you do it without collecting samples? These things we have discussed before. And I want you to go back and watch those videos. If it's still not clear, then send a message. We'll see what we can do for you. Onyemechi, I saw your hand up. Do you want to ask something before I continue? Okay, I don't think he's on the call now. Okay, he's here, but I think it's probably addressed. So you are going to find agro dealer. Nanshao, jump in if you have to.
No, we continue, sir.
Okay.
What we have done, mine is an observation.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, the observation I just want to raise is in respect to those who want to visit the demo plot. The message have been dropped. I've dropped 3 contacts. One, you will see Olabode Ibadan demo plot. You see his phone number. The second one, you see Omosho Keme, FCT demo plot. Her phone number is there. And lastly, James Igwe, Ebonyi demo plot. His phone number is also on the message link. I just want to raise an observation. You see, all those that are assisting in the demo plots are volunteers. They are volunteering. So it will be good when you want to visit the demo plot, you should call them beforehand. Maybe fix a day. Oh, I'll be available by, oh, this is the day I want to visit the demo plot, so that we will know when they are available, so that they can support you. They have other things they are doing, so that it will not look like, oh, you're just coming to Abuja and you said, oh, where are you? And probably Omosho Keme might be doing something at a particular place, and you are really interested because you have limited time. So please plan these things. Plan it. You can plan. Let Omosho Keme knows that you want to visit the demo plot. Where will she be available to support you? so that it will not be stressful on her. Same thing applies to Oyo State Ibadan, where Olabode is managing the demo plot, and the same thing applies to Ebonyi State, where James Igwe is managing the demo plot. Please, let's support them. Let's support them so that they can support us. Thank you very much.
Very, very powerful submission, Nanshao. Thank you very much. So please, and also be respectful of people. Don't be rude. Try and be friendly. Try and be, try and be a good person when you are contacting with these people. I'm sure these volunteers are super nice people and they'll be nice with you. And if you have any question, take pictures, write us. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to write us. So as I was saying, from next week, Monday, I expect you to begin this. Even from today, start looking for around you to find these agro dealers, try and befriend them. And then I will send you a few, tips on how you can go about this. So first is you befriend them. The objective is that you want to be able to see how he's doing his interacting with the farmers, and you want to see how you can add value to both him and the farmers. So what is value to the agro dealers? Value is you want to provide extension services to the farmers that buy seeds and fertilizer from him. That's a value. So basically, after the farmer buys, you collect his details or her details, and you can say, okay, this thing, have you done the nursery? Okay, please note that you have to do this, do the viability test, do soil testing. If there's a disease problem, you can try and find results. Share with us, we can try and support you so you can support this farmer. Build a relationship with this farmer. Make this farmer trust you. Trust you because what? Because you are adding value to him. Adding value means you are providing him with all this huge knowledge you are acquiring both in this session and during your time in school. Help him become a full, a successful farmer. You know what I'm saying? Help him become successful by using the science that you know, the technologies that you know. Help this farmer. So down the line, the farmer will say, you've helped me to add extra 100,000, 200,000 in my income. I don't mind paying you for this service to keep supporting me. And what you need is around 75 to 100 farmers. Now, this takes a while. It's not something that happens overnight, but if you can target within this month, 50 farmers contact, 50. I'm sure you're going to receive more than that in the shop, but most of them may not be able to, work with you. 50 farmer contact, their name, their phone number, because you want to call them once in a while, and what they are growing. You put it in a note. Each person has a page. Every time you talk to them, you record what was discussed. If you don't understand anything, please don't do I too know, because if you mislead the farmer, he may never trust you again. If you don't do anything, just say, let me get back to you. And then you come and discuss with us or with other, or if you're still in contact with your lecturers, you can talk to them. If you have textbooks, you can consult it. But please, if you don't know, do not say otherwise. So you have these 50 farmers. In the next 1 month, we'll try and see how we can support you to build a good value addition. Because down the line, if you keep working with them for 2 seasons, when you say, I want to bring tractor to help with land preparation, they will sign up. They will sign up and you're going to earn something from that. Maybe down the line, you can own a tractor of your own and provide services for them. Before they buy fertilizer for this rice crop or soybean, they will consult you. And then you will say, let us do soil analysis so that we will know if you need this fertilizer or if you need to do pH balancing, which we didn't also discuss, by the way, and on and on and on and on and on. So now this is very important, okay? Starting today until the rest of the program, twice a week, you're going to visit an agro dealer shop, sign up one of them to become your mentor, and then we will support you from the background. Your objective is to acquire, let's say 10. Let's not make 50. 50 might look ambitious, but if you can, the more the better. Acquire 10 farmers, they walk into the shop to buy things, try and get them to share their contact with you. Try and add value. Try and ask questions. We've been having this conversation for months. Now is the time to work, okay? All right, chop chop. Let's do this. Any questions before we wrap this up? Okay, go for it.
Yes, I was expecting because the issue of this on-the-spot soil analysis is a very sensitive one. So what I was expecting somebody to say, please, Mr. Gabriel, can we have a session, even if it's for 1 hour, so that we can go through the training for how to use the earth map or that is the earth map to, and using the RFA solution to know the full soil information with a view to advising the farmers on the right type of fertilizer blend to purchase. I was expecting somebody to say this, but the fact that everybody was quiet, I was just skeptic to think that like everybody understood that subject matter.
Mm.
So if you think that you need a refresher training session on that subject matter, please can you raise up your hand? Please raise up your hand. Raise up your hand.
That's almost everybody.
Feel free to raise up your hand. Nobody is an island of knowledge. Nobody is an island of knowledge. We learn every day. There are a lot of things you know that we don't know, and there are few things we know that you don't know. So if I'm in your shoes and I don't know something, I will ask you. Nobody is an island of knowledge. So, sir, over to you with the number of hands that has been raised for a refresher training on how to use our on-the-spot solutions to know the full soil information with a view to advising the farmer on the right fertilizer blend to purchase. Because if we fell short of this knowledge, farmers are the most easiest set of people to trust you. And trust me, farmers are the most easiest set of people for you to lose their trust. And when you lose the trust of a particular farmer, you will never regain it again. So, sir, up to you, over to you. Sorry that I'm bringing this up because
No.
I
fine.
I realize that this is a very, very sensitive part of this training, that everybody who wants to be a positive influence by engaging the farmers towards ensuring that these farmers makes the right decision, agro dealers make the right decision by advising the farmers on the right blend of fertilizer must understand this particular lecture we are talking about.
Thank you very much, Nansha. That was a very, very important thing to point out. So I see a few hands raised. Agnes, you wanted to say something before I respond to that?
Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So I wanted to just, I want to talk about the physical visits that we've been planning on. Initially we had plans only for FTP, And I just wanted to, just make this more organized. I knew the contacts have been shared for those in other states and even the one for FCT. But just so it's more organized, I think we should go as a group because going one by one, I don't know how we intend to do that. But yeah, I know everyone has their time schedule and all of that. But even for those in other states, I would suggest they come together as a group and they go because I don't know how many people want to go on their own and how many times. So I don't know how that works. But in as much as the contacts have been shared, I still want to suggest that they come together, as find themselves in their different states. The one for FCT we would plan that, but for those in Ebony and or your fees, it's better to go as a group because these people also have their activities that were very splitted. So you can't be going there one after another and all of that. So please, if we can go as a group, I believe it would make more sense. And then its pictures will also speak more. Um, we say more that it is organized actually and that it is done as a group and everyone is involved. I don't know how the one after the other would really work out, but I just wanted to suggest this. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So let me give us some because sometimes these things make sense when you have a number you're working with, right? So as an agricultural consultant that we're talking about, this assignment that I just gave you, how much can you potentially earn if you put in the work? Now, this is not a get rich quick scheme. We said this already before. I'm going to give you a few examples, including hours at Rural Farmers House. And I'm going to put it in the chat because I think that's where it can perpetuate, right? So, Hello Tractor, a successful booking agent. Now, remember, this is a side gig. It's not a full-time job. You can be doing your other things and still be doing this. As a booking agent only, a successful agent can earn between 500,000 and 1 million naira in commissions every year. Now, you don't own the tractor, you don't own anything. All you're simply doing is connecting the farmer to the tractor as a booking agent. You build this relationship of, let's say, 10, 20 farmers, and then they get you to provide them with that tractor services. You can earn between 500 and 1 million naira in a year. And I know this because in the early times when we started Rural Farmers Hub, we were also booking agent as a company. All right. Now, the other one is farm crowding, which is no longer in existence, but it's a good example. With farm crowding agent as an extension agent, providing support for things like biofertilizer, advisory, blah, 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 you can earn between 300 and 700,000 naira in a year, just from commissions you make providing these linkages. At Rural Farmers Hub, you can earn between 200,000 and 800,000 naira providing advisory linkages for fertilizer, soil analysis, and interpretation per year. So we are not talking. This is not a child's play. And again, remember that this is a part-time. You can begin part-time, and eventually, when you grow, it can become a full-time thing for you. So there is a potential, but the thing is, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You will have to invest some kind of time to build the relationship. Once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Build that relationship. It converts. I promise you it converts. And this is not something you have to do like go all in. You can do it in your casual time. Okay? So I'm going to leave a link for a survey to ask you what days can work for you and time. For those that want to do the soil analysis, I'm available tomorrow. I'm available on Saturday. I'm available also on Sunday. So I'm going to put a poll in the WhatsApp group, and then you tell me if you are interested and what date. All right. And then I'll send you a link on that time. For those that gets the highest number of polls, will do it on that day. And I can show you again how the soil analysis works. We're almost out of time, and I have a hard stop at 11 for another call. I want to thank you very much. But last thing I want to do to you or show you before we leave is for you to do soil analysis or to provide tractor services or any kind of digital support for farmers. You need to know how to get the farm coordinate. That's the first step. So on the screen now, you can see what you can see. What you can see a Google Maps. Raise your hand if you know what Google Maps is. I think most of us do, but just for the sake of argument, Google Maps, exactly. So on your phone, you find Google Maps, and then let's say the farmer walks in, and then you start talking with them, and they kind of, they start yielding to your conversation. There, you are telling them, I can help you buy fertility, blah blah, tractor. I can do a lot of things for you. You don't have to pay anything now. Just let me see, I can help you, and then maybe down the line we can make it official, right? The first step is to get their farm coordinates. So how do you get the farm coordinates? On the screen, you can see Google Maps already open right here. So let's say you are in Nasarawa State, and the farmer is also in Nasarawa State. You are going to find Nasarawa is somewhere here. It's somewhere here. Let's say you are in Doma, right? Or let's use Lafia as a good example, because Lafia is more central. Let's say you are in Lafia. The first thing you have to do is to change the Google Maps to the satellite view, which is the second option here. When you change satellite view, now you can be able to see, as you are zooming in, you're going to see the roads, the farms are going to be a bit off. So when the farmer is there, let's say you are in the shop and the shop is in Lafia Market. Lafia Market should be around here, around Doma Road. Lafia Market should be around here, right? So let's say the farmer is inside this. Yes, let's say you are in a shop here, just by the roadside. And the farmers, you want the person to get the coordinate. What do? You open your Google Maps on your phone and you say, can we find your farm from these maps? The farmer will likely go home through this road here, going north, that yellow line. So you start telling him, is it before or after this? Is it before or after that? Until maybe you find the person says is around Cooking Church. This is Cooking Church, right? Then you zoom in there. Then you tell him, so if I enter this road, I'm going left or right, you will keep tracing. And he will say, oh, you're going to take the first turn on your left, which is this road here. So we go like this. So what do? I just keep going until maybe he will say, this is my farm, this one here. And guess what you do? You just press and hold on the farm. You see at the bottom here, the coordinates, 8.48 something something, comma, 8.5 something something. That's it. You simply tap it to copy. You've copied the coordinates, you put it on your journal or whatever, and that's it. You have the farmer's farm coordinates, you have his name, you have his phone number. Subsequently, you can use that coordinate to do the soil analysis. You can use that same coordinate to book a tractor for him. You can use that same coordinate to get the weather insight. All services to the farmers will now be digital. You don't even have to go to the village if you don't want. But this is the first step. Let me do it again. First thing is that you have to know what Google Maps is, obviously. And then you have to be able to know how to trace from where you are to where the farm is. The farmer will guide the farmer to find his farm. It's simple to use. With one finger, you can scroll. You can pinch to zoom out to kind of see the bigger picture. You can, also pinch to zoom in. You can see there are lots of details. Once you find the farm in question, all these are farms, you simply what? You simply press and hold. And you see this red pin, which shows the current location. And just below that, you will see the coordinate right here. Tap, and it's copied. You paste it somewhere. You can write it out if you want. And that's it. So whenever we're going to do the soil testing rehash training, this step is super important. First step, get the coordinate. With that, everything is easy. Digital agriculture begins with knowing the farm coordinate. Please, I have a hard stop at 11, so I'm going to stop here. But if you have one question I can take, I saw your hand up, Lot Alkali. Do you want to take a quick question before we wrap this up?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. For that training on the soil analysis, I'm going to have Nansha do that. Sometimes they tell me that my voice is super, is like Oyibo voice. So I'm going to have Nansha take that session so that things can be more understandable. I got that feedback from some private, one of the guys. They say I'm talking too polished and it's not clear. So let someone else take that part and hopefully it can be clear. It's not that difficult. But again, the most important thing is building relationship. It's very important. You cannot overemphasize that. Don't make it a full-time job yet. Make it a part-time gig, a side hustle. Once a week, twice a week, start building that contact list of farmers. If you build it, if you are helpful, 2 years, at least 2 years, you can start to reap the rewards of that. And guess what? From that 2 years, after you've built this relationship, you are working from your home. You're not going to any office and you are making money right from your home. Of course, it's not as easy as that. If you're going to do tractor booking, you need to go to the farm to go and see. You cannot, if they tell you 1 hectare, you believe it? Of course not. Of course, definitely you can use the map to measure the size and all, but sometimes when it becomes serious and you're making some good money, then you have to visit, right? Mary, go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please, I just want to ask about the uses of the Capture app that we downloaded on the phone, because the day that we had to download it, sir, my phone went off, so I was unable to finish the class, sir.
Okay. Nansha, please take note of this. It's part of what we are going to provide in that training. Thank you. I have to go now. Thank you very much. Any question, please? You have my our number, the one I used to write to you sometime on WhatsApp. Write us. If you have an email, write us. But whatever thing you need us to get you started, please let us know. We are here to help. We are here to stay. Please, I am here for you. Use me as you please. Use us. We want to help and we will help. But you've got to ask. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.